Okay. So I don't know why I'm coming up with all these stand fans, or what do you call these things, pedestal fans all of a sudden, but I have had 0 for many, many years, and now within 2 weeks I have 2. Whatever. They're kind of handy though. I do like them. Of course, that's that SMC I just made a video on, and here's the one I picked up today. And I have never seen one of these. I've looked on the internet. I was able to find one that is quite similar, but not quite the same. It has a different badge, sort of. But it's quite similar. And from what I can see, this might be a pretty rare unit here. This is not a Panasonic. That's right. This is a Galaxy. Pedestal fan, 16-inch. And this is using like a Panasonic style badge here. And this fan is not your usual either gray or, of course, that color that Galaxy fans usually are. It is a, it's gold and black. Now, the blades are sort of transparent, or you can see light through them, but they're not like really see-through like those are. When I got this, it was so dirty I didn't realize they were translucent at all. I thought they were just solid black, but they're not. This thing was disgusting when I got it. Now, unfortunately, this thing's in sort of, well, I don't want to say it's beat up, but it's been used for sure. It's been used heavily, we'll say. And I don't know where it was stored or anything like that, but if you look at like this is supposed to be a nice gold color, but it's kind of it's pitted. It is not dirty, that's just how it looks now. This piece here is cracked. See, it's missing a piece there, which is quite unfortunate, although it doesn't seem to affect the ability to adjust the fan. It still can be adjusted, and it holds its position just fine. Because when you turn it, obviously, you know, this screw doesn't turn, so it still grabs on there good. It's not like it's popping out, and the screw won't like fit through here, so it's still pretty stable. It's also missing was missing the original knob. I installed this, which is just like a stereo knob, and it does work. It points to the different speeds just fine. And lastly, and this is something that I've noted before on that Galaxy, well, that's a Lasco, but it's the same thing. It uses the same neck piece, and here you can see where the fan sits on the front here, and it pivots back and forth on this metal thing, and it just has a rod that goes down inside of here, and this is plastic. And over the years, from oscillating back and forth, and it's a dry type joint, there's no lubrication or anything in there, it sort of wears away, and you start getting play in that thing there, which for the smaller ones like that at least causes it to sort of move back and forth while it's oscillating. This one I think is heavy enough to where it doesn't do that, but also since it's got most of this weight pulling forward on it, it gets a lot of play in there, and you can see that there's a lot of play in that joint there. But it's still functional. It still oscillates just fine. And although it's in pretty poor condition, I only paid $7 for this fan, so. And it runs just fine. I mean, of course, it's an old Galaxy. You could practically, I need to quit doing that. You could practically throw one of these things on the bottom of the ocean for 5 years, and it would probably, it might look terrible, but they'd probably still run perfectly smoothly. So we'll go ahead and turn this on high. As you can see, in typical old Galaxy fashion, it runs very smoothly and it moves a ton of air. Go ahead and turn it to medium. Low. And on low, these things are almost silent. I mean, you can hear it, but really, I mean, come back over here, not really. And they still move a very decent amount of air. Go ahead and turn on the oscillation. This has a nice wide, even, slow sweep. Doesn't have any annoying noises, rattles, humming, nothing like that. Unfortunately, the grill clips are gone, as is the case with most of these old Galaxies. But from what I've heard, they're actually just like the regular Galaxy grill clips, but they're black from the one other one of these that I was able to find. I'm not exactly sure the exact age of this, but I'm thinking mid-90s. That's what the other one was from. I think it was 94 or something, so I would guess this is probably similar. And really, a style like this is something that could really only be a product of the 90s. And I still think it looks quite nice. In my opinion, it looks better than a plain white like that. I really like that, though. I'd love to find a 16-inch floor version of one of those. If you notice the camera moving, that's because I'm holding it with one hand and it's actually moving my hand. So yeah, and anyway, I think this was a high mileage fan because the grease in the gearbox was all hard and in bad shape anyway. I actually picked this up today. This is a brake service kit. I didn't plan on servicing brakes with it, but you get a can of D-Squeak, whatever that does. It's a technician grade. And then of course this is what I really wanted, is this brake clean. Unfortunately it's a bit flat. It's still in there though. And I'm sure it still smells like brake clean, so I'm sure it would be, it still work. It's just kind of flat. And then I also got a tube of this grease, which was something that I was going to buy, and that would cost $5 on its own anyway. So, this is just some red, basically red and tacky grease, but it's not that brand. And it's good when it smells like cat piss. I don't know why, but all this red type grease like this smells like cat piss. And then I got some other synthetic grease in there. It smells like, well, it doesn't, it has graphite in it. And although that would have been easier to squeeze into the gearbox of this fan, it has graphite in it, so I don't know how that would be, how good that would be for something like this. So I just used the red grease because that's what I've been using on my fans for, well, forever. So yeah, you can see it runs good. It's just got a bit of play in it, which it's unfortunate that it's not in very good condition. but it's still got some life left in it. Quite a bit of life left in it, most likely. And it's definitely not a very common fan. So go ahead and turn it off. And you'll see the bearings in it are not too terrible. Actually a pretty good spin down time for something like this. Of course, the spin down time still doesn't beat the Duracraft here. We'll demonstrate now. I really cut the Duracraft off first. I've never seen a fan with lightweight plastic blades with a spin down time as long as that, sorry, Duracraft, that SMC there. But the Galaxy definitely doesn't have bad bearings by any means. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.